Hey everyone, my name is Delaina Burns and I'm with you today on Live with Prima. Want to share some fall pumpkins with you today, if I can locate them. Going to work on some really pretty pumpkins made from just dollar store fine books. So you can kind of see they're just book pages in there with some Prima resin and flowers and a few pieces of trim on top. I did a large one and then I did a couple of small ones as well. And you can do them in different shapes and lots of things. So we're going to work on those today. But before we get started, I wanted to share a few announcements with you. Our next show, October 15th, which is Thursday evening at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. We've got a really special guest. Y'all all know Jamie Daughtry. And you won't want to miss it. She's going to be showcasing her brand new release and creating for us. So I've seen some sneak peeks of it and fabulous stuff. So she's going to be joining us on Thursday. Y'all be sure 6:30 Pacific time to join us. Also, don't forget about Art Venture Anaheim. It's almost full, so don't wait to sign up. You will get exclusive Prima field classes with 6 amazing instructors, and I think y'all have probably seen the instructors by now, and they are absolutely amazing. It's going to be so fun. The goodie bags are beyond gorgeous, so just for the goodie bags, it's going to be a fabulous time. And that's in January. Go to primamarketinginc.com and click on Art Venture tab, the Art Venture tab, to get all the information and to get signed up. You really don't want to miss that. I wish I was going myself. Those are our announcements, so don't forget about Jamie on Thursday. I don't really know, as far as this project goes, how it's going to work best to show you. So for now, I'm going to zoom the camera down like normal. If we have difficulty with it zooming in and out or whatever, I'll turn the camera back up. But for now, let's go ahead and zoom down, and I'll show you this really quick and fun little pumpkin idea I've got. Hold on just a second. Okay, can you kind of see? Move my cord out of the way. Can you kind of see the book here? You can see I've shaped the book already, and I'll show you just a few of the books that I found. And you can see this was literally $1. And I always buy 2 of every book. For some reason, when I find them on sale, I like to make projects with books. I've seen these pumpkins made lots of different ways. You can find other versions of them, but I just kind of want to show you my quick and easy version of this pumpkin. They are fun and just super fast. So, well, not so fast. They're super easy. They're pretty time consuming because you've got dry time and glue time. But I'll show you. The first thing you want to do is remove your cover. And what I do to actually remove the cover is I open the book up, and then I just run my sharp pointy edge scissors down the spine area here. I'm not going to actually cut this one open, but I run my scissors down that spine area on the front, that first page there, and then I open it up to the back, and I do the same thing. I run my scissors really close to the spine in the back of this little crease here, and kind of cut that open, and then I use my scissors at the top to sort of wedge between the outside of the spine and the glued area there, and it tears away really nicely. And you can save your cover for another project. I've got a couple of covers that I intend to make some art journals or some mini albums with, something like that. But you're left with just your inside pages here. And what I do is I'll just kind of show you the way I kind of draw this off. And every pumpkin is shaped differently. I'm not so concerned about a perfect shape. You just want to kind of sketch sort of your pumpkin out here. So if you can see that, I just kind of sketch with a pencil. See if we can get that to focus. I just kind of sketch with a pencil sort of the shape here of a pumpkin. You want your area here to be about 2 to 3 inches for a larger pumpkin. If you want to do a few small pumpkins, what you can do is actually draw a line here, cut your book in half, literally splice your pages in half, and then you'll make your pumpkin shape on half of the actual. And we're gonna continue to lose our focus because we're dealing with white. So let's see if we can get it with this. Put our scissors in there. Come on, baby, focus. See if we can get it back. And we're not going to get it back. So what I'm going to do is grab one from the pumpkins. And let's see if we can get it to focus with this. Yes, we got it back. Okay, so you can see that's our small pumpkin there. But what I was saying on this is you can actually cut your pages in half and then draw a small version of your pumpkin. I'm going to open this page up and show you. I don't want to spend time cutting all this up because I think you can, if you cut this in half, if you've actually cut your book in half, then you want to draw from your corner there, and you'll need to cut some of your book off when you make the smaller pumpkins, but I just kind of sketch, and then I go in with my sharp scissors, and you can use your larger Tim Holtz scissors, whatever scissors you want to use, whatever is kind of strong for you. And I actually cut a few pages at a time. I have my pumpkin drawn there. I'll go in and I'll cut just about that much, about a 1/2 inch first, and then go back with your pencil, lay your pages down that you've cut, draw a line, pick up a few more pages and cut those until you've cut all the way through your book. So you can see here what I've done. I've got the entire book cut here. This is going to make a large pumpkin, and you can kind of measure to see how tall they're going to be from your book. So you can see this one is going to finish about 9 inches. So that is how tall it will finish. If you actually cut this in half and did too small, you're going to have two about 4.5 inches tall. And that's what we've got right here, is this one this size. So once we get this cut out, our next step is to actually make a round shape out of it. Move all of our tools out of the way. We're going to do that using hot glue. Where you have your spine torn here, you can see this area. Take a bead of hot glue. My hot glue gun is smoking. I'm going to need a little more glue to... I'm not a huge fan of hot glue guns, but it's necessary for this project. So just continue all the way down your spine with your hot glue. This will get started good in a minute. I've just added a new stick, so it takes a few minutes when you add the new stick. So this is so hot, it's going to adhere really well. And what you want to do is just kind of fold this back onto itself. Just totally fold it back and pinch it for just a minute until that adheres well. I can't tell if y'all have any questions. I'm going to try to read along. Hey Sharon, Sharon's here. Hey Robbie. Hey Lorena. Okay, just going to kind of hold that for just a minute. And you see what happens when you fold it out is you get your pages kind of all clumped up. And you need it to be really kind of fanned out. So the way we're going to achieve that fan, this is a little time consuming, but it's well worth the process. I've done this a couple of ways. You can go in and actually fold a sheet of paper back ever so often between, and that's a really good way to get that fan. You can go in with a bead of Fabri-Tac. You can just run some Fabri-Tac right down right down the inside pages. And you'll want to do that for lots of the pages. Just continue to run a bead of glue. That's kind of how I achieve this. But for a time saver today, I'm going to show you how to do it with hot glue. And I burned my finger a couple of weeks ago, so I'm a little shy of the hot glue, but y'all are probably a lot more careful than I am. And my hot glue gun gets really hot. So what you're going to do is just run your hot glue right down between the pages. And this gives you just a little layer of thickness between the pages, and it helps it to fan. And you're just going to continue right down. And this is time consuming, but it's so worth your time to do this. Sharon. Sharon, behave. Okay, we're going to just type down. I'm sorry, now I'm saying typing. We're going to just run our glue down our pages. And you don't have to do this to every page, but it's going to be really helpful to do it on most of them, because you can see already you're getting your fanned area there. If you like the idea of folding it in or using the Fabri-Tac instead, it's totally up to you. I did use Fabri-Tac on a couple of these because I had time to let it dry overnight, so it didn't bother me to use the actual Fabri-Tac and spare my poor fingers. But like I said, y'all are probably much better with the hot glue than I am. And you see I'm just continuing this process all the way around the book. And you just want to continue. You can see where I've added it, how it's already begun to kind of fan out. And you can just pull a cluster apart and add. And then just continue to move around your book. This is probably, next to spraying in the dry time, the most time consuming part. But it's really worth your time. So you just get a really pretty look. And once you've got all of the pages kind of separated, you just want to kind of run in kind of with your fingers and just kind of spread it out to kind of shape it. So that's what we're doing as far as the book itself goes, and getting the pages to fan. But you can see that's fanning really nicely now. You're seeing your words and all the script in there. So the next thing I'm going to do is show you how I colored it. I had a couple of bottles about empty of the gilded bloom spray. And the gilded is number, and this works really pretty, makes a really pretty pumpkin color. The gilded is number 573911. But I ran out. My bottles were pretty close to empty, and I totally ran out. So I had the Tangerine Mica powder, brand new Tangerine Mica powder, and I thought, well, that is a really pretty color too, so let's just see how that works. So what I did is I removed my top, and that is, in fact, I can't see this number. Sorry, Carrie, if you can give them the Tangerine Mica powder number. It is too small for my old eyes. So what I want to do is just remove the little shaker top here so that I can scoop this out. And this bottle, I just used the same bottle. I just kind of mixed the colors originally, but right now I've got plenty of the orange tangerine color in here from the other projects I did. So I'm just going to scoop out a few scoops. And I didn't really measure this. I'm just doing, you can kind of see my scoops on the end of this little spatula. I'm going to do about 3 scoops, and this goes a long way too. I did all these pumpkins, and you can see how full my jar still is. I've done like 5 pumpkins with this one jar, and I still have this much left. So this goes a long way. I'm going to do about 3 nice scoops in my bottle. And just be careful with this to put your top back on. I don't want any accidents like I had on my bloopers program, so I'm going to put the tops back on everything so that I don't have I don't have a bloopers this time. And what I'm going to do is just fill this bottle. If I can keep up with my thing, I'm going to fill this bottle the rest of the way with water. And I am going to put the top back on this water as well. I want no mishaps. Okay, and then you just want to shake this really well. This is going to be a really quick show, y'all. I probably need to apologize in advance that this show is going to be really fast, but the majority of the time on these are spent drying and adding those glue beads between the pages. So that's shaking up really well. So all I'm going to do now is just give this a really good spray. What's going to happen, your pages are going to get really wet. Going to kind of do this in layers. Just kind of open your pages out. You're going to have it all over your fingers, but just, I'm not so worried about getting the inside. I just mainly want a good coverage, a good coat on the outside. So you can kind of see how I've started this. And it's going to run. You can see you're kind of getting runs, and that, to me, that just adds to the appeal to get the runs. I hope y'all are able to see this good. And I'm just going to do it all the way around. I don't have my pages all spread out just yet on this, so I'm going to go back on this particular one, and I'll add my glue. I don't want to waste my book, so I do want to make one. I want to finish this project, I guess I should say. So just continue all the way around the book. Just spray. Not getting a lot. I'm getting a little overspray, but since I'm going into the book, I'm not getting a lot of overspray. Okay, so you can kind of see where we're going there. Just continue to spray until you get enough coverage. You get it to your liking. And you can use your heat tool some to dry between. But what I did, I just kind of let it dry. I didn't really worry about it. I just really let it dry. And what I ended up with was, this is a small one, but what I ended up with was coverage like this. And you can see this is just a little finished one that I can now decorate. And you can see I added a little branch from the yard. I just kind of went outside. My husband was not home, so I went outside with a little handsaw, and I cut a branch from a tree, and let's just hope it wasn't a tree that hope it wasn't a branch that the poor tree needed. But anyway, just with fall trimmings and things like that, you can always find little twigs and things that you can use. So, and I kind of wanted it a little tilted, so I cut it kind of to an angle there. So what I did is just added a little hot glue and stuck that there, so you can kind of see we got our little twig there. And it's kind of thick, but it just makes a really good little, what would it be called? A pumpkin stem. I'm not really sure what that would be called, but anyway, pumpkins have those little stems. So we've got that. And then you can see I used a few ribbons on my originals as well. I doubled up some of them, and I used some pretty Prima resin. So I'm going to show you really quick how I colored the resin. And I've got a little plaid bow here. I didn't have much of this ribbon, but I loved it for these. And I got a little orange and some green ribbons, just ribbons I had in my stash, so that's what I'm going to use. Another idea too, I just noticed when I set this down, I've not sprayed this with Fixative. At first I didn't really have a problem with it coming off on my hands since it was sprayed directly on paper, but after a couple of days of it sitting, it did kind of come back off on my hands. So what I used is this Fixative that I picked up at Michael's, and probably Hobby Lobby has it as well, or your maybe even Walmart has this, but anyway, this is just a matte paper fixative, so it dries matte, and that's what I sprayed it with, so I'm not having problems with these. This one I have not used the fixative on yet. These I have, and I'm not having any problem with the actual mica coming off on my hands. This one I have not prepped yet with that, so it is coming off just a little bit on my fingers. But next thing I want to show you are the resins that I colored. And I've used their leaf resins before on another project that I've done a show on, and I used the actual watercolored pencils to color them with. Today I'm going to color them with some ink. I'm just going to use the chalk edgers, and I'm going to grab a couple of colors of the chalk edgers, some oranges and yellows and greens, just a variation of fall colors. So we've got fall leaf, and we've got a really pretty bright yellow, and I can't tell what that name is on that. I seriously need to be wearing my glasses. Anyway, it's a yellow color. You can see it's a yellow color, and I may have listed that, Carrie, on my actual product list. I want to grab a green. We need a green color. And you can just kind of grab what you have on hand. Fall colors, I should say, are very versatile. Lots of different colors in the fall foliage. So this package is number 892548, and you can see it's got little acorns and the beautiful leaves. This one just has leaves, so either one of these packages will do, or both. 892579 is just the leaves. So what I want to do is just pull my pieces out, and we'll just work on these today to decorate our small one. And you can decorate them any way you want, but this is sort of my favorite to do is with the sorry about that, I'm looking for a paintbrush. My favorite to do is the actual chalk edgers, and that's not going to work. He's a little old. So you just want to kind of smash some color out on your nonstick mat. And I'm just going to go ahead and smash out several different colors. I've got a brown, a green, a yellow, a little bit brighter green, a fall leaf, which is an orange. And you can do red. You can do, there's just so many different colors in fall foliage. You can do anything you like. What I'm going to do is spray a little water, just with my spray bottle. I'm going to spray a little water there. And I'm going to pick up just a little bit of water. I'm going to grab some green and just kind of dab this on. Not all over. Then I want to grab a little of the yellow. You kind of rinse it out over here. I'm not going to a lot of pains to make these perfect. There's no perfect leaf coloring, so I'm just going to kind of add the yellow in, and it's going to blend, which is good. That's kind of what I want it to do. Then just between, kind of wipe your brush out or rinse your brush out with a little bit of your water. I'm going to go in with a little bit of orange. I'm going to add some orange. Can y'all see that pretty good? Let's get you down a little bit closer. Okay, I am actually using the Ken Oliver matte today, and it is, I love it because it catches mainly because it catches my droppings. If I drop beads or whatever, it won't skid, so it's got a really good surface to catch things, but it's resist on all of your colorings. You can use your inks and your pencils, paints, anything like that, just wipes clean. So I just love it. I love the color of it for videoing a little more than the brown color. I think the gray tends to not zoom in and out so much on me. So I'm enjoying this mat. I really love this mat. And again, this is the Ken Oliver mat. So and it's totally non-stick, non-skid. It handles heat. I can directly use my heat tool on top of it and it doesn't warp. I can wad it, I can fold it, I can do lots of things to it, and it brings its shape right back. So I am really enjoying this particular mat. And under it is my beautiful Prima self-healing mat that I'm protecting, because y'all know I got to protect my Prima mat. This one is a little bit dirty, it's getting a little grungy, but I like to protect my Prima mat. So this protects it really well. And I just love that it's non-skid, because I'm not able to kind of shift this off the table, and a lot of times I'm shifting. Now what I'm doing with this, I got a little bit too much color, too much of the orange color. It's kind of getting a little muddy on me. I want it kind of bright, so I'm going in with a little water, and I'm just literally taking that color right back off, because I was talking and I let my colors get muddy. So I want to go back now with my green, and I want to brighten this up. Grab some of the orange. Yeah, I know that the colors then does get muddy after a while when everything kind of really starts to crackle and die, but I like it when it first begins to turn and it's really bright and happy. So that's kind of what I want there, and you can see I just sort of kind of stamp that on there just with my brush. So I'm going to use my heat tool for just a minute, and you can see on this mat I am literally using it right on top of the mat, and it protects the heat. I think they advertise how hot you can get it and it won't warp, but for the heat that I use, it works really well. And I'm just going to kind of add a little bit of brown from the water in that, and then go back in with a little bit of my green, and then a little bit more of the orange. And that is kind of it with those colors. I'm going to wipe some of my water up and start with some fresh water. Okay, so that's all I want to do to these. That's going to be enough foliage for this little pumpkin here, so we'll just kind of lay those to the side. The next thing I want to do, I just want to do one of the little acorns here, so I'm going to lay this one to the side. And I do kind of like to make the acorns bright sometimes too. You can use brighter colors and decorate them up, but for this one I'm just going to kind of stick to a little bit of a brown color. Go in with your brown, and I'm just kind of dabbing it all over. You can add glitter to these. You can do lots of stuff. You can grab your matte gel and or your soft matte gel or your soft gloss gel, and you can add glitter, or some of the glass glitter, some of the fine glitters. You can do lots of different finishes on these. These resins take so many finishes. I'm just kind of simply doing this today. Layering this one because it's not taking the dark color that I want immediately. So what I'm doing is just layering it, drying it between, and then it will kind of darken up for me. You can kind of see it's getting darker. So I'm just going to continue to go in with the layers of color. Another thing you can do is you can actually just stamp the color right on there with the chalk edger. Just actually literally stamp the little resin piece with some direct color. Just give it another quick dry. And this is kind of one-dimensional color here, but because of the texture in the actual, I'm going to add just a little green in the top area here just to accent just a little with the green. Just going to kind of move that green around just a little bit. You can kind of see I added just a little bit of green. So that's all I kind of want to do to the actual little acorn there. So we've got our leaves, we've got our acorn. Let's wipe up our mess. And I will show you how I added these to the pumpkin, but you can see our mat just cleans right up. I've got some hot glue left here from my little pumpkin, so just wipe all this away. Okay, now what we want to do is first add our ribbon, and I think I'm going to use this. Pretty orange ribbon. I just want to cut myself, if I can find my scissors that will cut this ribbon. Just want to cut myself probably about 3/4 of a yard or a yard. May waste a little, but anyway, just kind of tie it around your little twig here. I'm not a huge, beautiful bow maker, but you don't have to be a beautiful bow maker to make this work. Just kind of tie a little, almost a little shoestring bow is what I've got going on here, but you can kind of manipulate it and fidget with it to make it pretty. Cut your little tails kind of at an angle. You can see that right there. Then I want to add my little bow I already made here with my plaid ribbon, and I'm going to just add a little dot of hot glue right there and just sort of double layer that on there. You can kind of see I just kind of stuck that there. I want to trim this one off just a little bit as well. Stick it right there. Then what I want to do is add my little resin pieces in. I'm just going to go directly to the resin with the hot glue, and you can use your Fabri-Tac, just whatever you like. I've got the glue hot here, so I'm just going to kind of use what I've got going on here right now. You see, I'm just going to kind of lay that under my ribbon just a little bit, tucking that in just a little bit. Got my next leaf here. Tuck it in. Tuck it in right about there. You can kind of see, got those tucked in. And then we've got our little acorn. Add a little glue to the back of it. I'm going to put our little acorn kind of right on top of our little leaves right here, just so it's showing right in the center. You can fluff up, give that a second to dry, and then kind of fluff up your bows. And that is it. That is it. I'm going to pan back up so I can show you these, but that is literally all it takes. So, can y'all see me? Okay. I told you. Yeah, see, it was quick. These are quick to kind of show you how to do. The time comes in your dry time and separating your actual sheets to add the glue, or you can fold sheets back however you kind of want to make it full. I see Sharon is still here. Hey Barbara, I'm seeing a few names. I'm able to read a few names, I should say. So you can see that's our finished. And also on this one I did add a flower. You can see I added one of the burlap flowers, and that number is, these go really well. I'm dropping everything. These go really well too. That number is 580971, and it's this flower here. I just kind of wrapped it around, added a little glue, and you can see with the acorn and the leaves, it just looks really pretty. So, and making them in different sizes sort of could be a centerpiece, a fall centerpiece for Thanksgiving or Halloween time, just, you know, any kind of harvest time. So they're just really pretty. But I am done. This is like the record show. So I apologize that it really is not actually an hour. So hopefully you're okay with that. And if you do make some of these pumpkins, please share them with us. I would love to see what you create, because each shape is so different, and then with the ribbons and the embellishments that you add, just kind of make it. Don't forget about joining Jamie on Thursday night, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. And don't forget about Art Venture. Be sure and go and sign up for Art Venture. It's almost full. When it's full, it's too late. So anyway, I am done. So y'all have a great day, and I will see you next month. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye, everybody.